Hi, as I was thinking about what activity I wanted to do for the topic of poverty and social class, I had this realization that I know little to nothing about the WIC program, other than my brother and sister in law used it, and they had a lot of beans and they had a lot of formula because of it. Um, and once I had that realization, I decided it would be really important for me to look into this program and the benefits it provides, particularly because if I get married and have children in the next several years of my life, I will likely be at an income status in a situation in which I would qualify for WIC. And then also it can give some insight into the situation, the situation that kind of surrounds WIC and maybe the issues it addresses. I also interviewed my brother and sister-in-law, in addition to doing quite a bit of research just to get some supplemental information and kind of their personal experience with WIC. So I'll share a few of the things I learned. So WIC it stands for Women, Infants, and Children, and it's for people who meet an income status that is low enough to qualify for WIC. Once a woman is pregnant, she can qualify for WIC, and WIC provides things like cheese, milk, bread, vegetables, legumes, peanut butter, juice, all these great things that can help keep the mother healthy and provide nutrition for her baby, which is really great, really exciting. And then once the baby's born, if the mother's not breastfeeding, then formula is provided. For mothers who are not breastfeeding, it's 3 to 6 months at which they stop receiving WIC benefits, and it's simply for their child. If you are breastfeeding, that's up to a year that you can receive those benefits still to help supplement the breast milk and these things. And then children can continue to receive WIC benefits up until they're at the age of 5. However, at any time you get a raise or get a new job at which you need the higher income status, you can no longer receive these benefits, which is what happened to my brother and sister-in-law. My brother got a raise, and then they didn't qualify anymore. But they talked a lot about how it was a really, really great program for them. Online, I read a lot about on their website the benefits, the mission statement of WIC, the desire to help these families that may not be at a point in their lives that they can provide nutritional food and have these experiences. My brother and sister-in-law said that not only did it help them have formula and these things for Hudson, my nephew, but it also granted them this ability to be able to eat a lot healthier throughout this process, not only because they were being provided with healthy foods, but they saved quite a bit of money in which they could buy decent groceries. They said they still had to spend a month about $50 subsidizing for formula and these things, but that was opposed to potentially $200. So they had quite a bit of money left over for that, which was a great help for them. I forgot to mention also, as the children get older, the infants, they are provided with solid foods and these things as they come off of formula or breast milk. So those are great things. I'm just looking here. It is interesting that when they're looking if you qualify for WIC, they look at your past 3 months checks of what have come in and decide whether or not you meet the lines for which you qualify for WIC. And my brother and sister-in-law said that one thing was really, really great that you don't get with food stamps or other things necessarily, that they don't look at your checking account or your savings account. And because that was really nice, because my brother and sister-in-law were trying really hard to be frugal and were saving up quite a bit, and they weren't penalized for that. they didn't see that they had X amount of money in their bank account and they didn't allow them to qualify. So that is one thing that I thought was really, really awesome, because it motivates people to save and be frugal and do these things without having to have these benefits taken away from them. And then also another interesting thing is WIC is different state to state. So my family experienced it in Utah and said the program was really awesome, really helpful. They moved to Tennessee, said it wasn't quite as friendly. They had problems with Hudson couldn't have the particular formula, and they had a hard time matching that and switching it over. So that's interesting. Just from state to state, the program can change. Kind of policies can be a little bit different. So those are some of the things I learned. There's a lot on the website. I encourage you to go look if you're interested. But those are the main things, just to kind of have this blanket statement experience about WIC. One thing that I found really interesting looking at kind of our topics and these things, and this is an observation for me, this is not doctrine or anything, but it seems that kind of the taboo and the feelings that surround food stamps and things like that aren't transferred over to WIC. There's a little bit more of this friendly atmosphere that's around WIC. Not that there's not that with food stamps, but there's a little bit of like this taboo of what being on food stamps means, and kind of the poverty that surrounds that. And you don't get that as much with WIC, from my perception. So that's an interesting thing to kind of delve into, this idea of the culture of poverty. It doesn't always surround exactly your income level. Of course, that's the main factor, but the society's perceptions of poverty can be altered depending on what someone's doing, or the things they're utilizing, or how they're trying to combat this poverty. So that was something interesting. And then also the reality of having a kid and starting families really puts weight on finances and the struggles there with that. I don't want to say that it's exactly situational poverty, and that normally comes with disasters or things like this, that all of a sudden people lose these things. But it certainly has this influence of putting more stress on finances and families. And so I'm a huge supporter of this WIC program that can help families kind of get through that, and to provide nutrition and these great things and benefits for these people. So those are my thoughts. Thank you.